Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. Today we toast Dr. Raul Fernandez Crespo of Tampa, Florida. What kind of doctor is Raul? He's a urologist, and he had to perform, a varicocelectomy. Basically,
the removal of varicose veins?
Yeah. Procedure to remove enlarged veins. Specifically, but no, Ted, you had this. The difference is yours was your leg. This guy's a urologist. He had to do it in a patient's testicles. All right, because it's a condition called varicocele, all right? And it's enlarged scrotal veins, which can be a source of pain, obviously, infertility, and then in some cases even impaired testosterone production. So aside from just being uncomfortable, it's a good idea to get them removed. Anyway, it's a fairly routine surgery, and Dr. Raul performed it without complication. But the reason we're toasting him today is because he performed it on the wrong testicle.
Oh, no.
There's only two to choose from. All right, so as standard medical procedure.
We had more in there than just the one side then.
But as standard medical, he took his Sharpie, he marked the one, right? And that's how so if it's your leg, your arm, whatever, doctors come in, they know where they marked it. Well, he marked the wrong one. So he did the one he marked. I believe he did the right testicle. And anyway, when the patient came to, they said, dude, you got the wrong testicle. Now, for all of this, he got in a little bit of trouble. This fine doesn't seem too bad. He owes just under $3,000, basically, to pay the medical board back for having to, quote, deal with it. So, yeah, just went for the wrong testicle.
I told you I knew somebody that went in to get their knee scoped, and they scoped the wrong one.
Right, exactly.
So they just marked it up wrong before he went in.
That's it. Make sure you mark the right one. So, we drink to Dr. Raul. We pour this booze, and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichola.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, can you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Jeff. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola. All right, Jeff, you understand how this here game is played?
Yes, sir.
All right, then you know you have your choice of one of three stories. The Wonderful World of Drugs, Bite Me, in other words, what did someone find in their food, and finally, Interior Decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone.
Let's spin the wheel to the Wonderful World of Drugs.
All right, the Wonderful World of Drugs, it is. In this case, it involves two ex-Royal Marines. Two former Royal Marines have been jailed for smuggling drugs into the United Kingdom, but they smuggled the drugs in boxes of Legos. And the reason they got busted is because one of them was accidentally given to a child for his birthday. This is how the story plays out. The drugs inside of the gift was among 40 pounds that Jack Jones and Isaac Rasmussen had brought illegally into the United Kingdom from the Netherlands. Now, one had been delivered to Rasmussen's home, but he was out, so it was left with a neighbor. She tried to return it over several weeks, but she was unsuccessful. And then one of her son's girlfriend asked advice for a birthday present for a friend's young son. So she said, here, just take this box of Legos. And it had the image of a Lego fire engine on the front. However, when the friend opened the gift-wrapped present on her son's birthday, she discovered the drugs inside. Anyway, got traced back to these two guys. Jones was jailed for 16 and a half years for conspiracy to import and supply drugs. Rasmussen was sentenced to 10 years. And then a third man, Paul Jones, he was jailed for 7.5 years after his address was also used for the packages to be sent to. And I'm sure he's delighted about that. The question is, what were the drugs that they hid inside of the Legos? Was it Xanax, Molly, heroin, or cocaine?
Oh, this is a tough one. Where was it at again?
UK. United Kingdom.
What's Xanax do?
I don't know, but people like it. It's a popular drug. I know that much, man.
Kind of knocks you out a little bit.
Well,
and it came from, you said it came from the Netherlands originally?
That's correct.
They're importing it from the Netherlands into the United Kingdom.
I'm thinking heroin.
Heroin. You want to go that for a final answer, Jeff?
What do you guys think? Let's throw it in there. What do you boys think? Ted, I asked what you thought last time, not knowing that you were on vacation. I apologize. That was kind of funny afterwards, but
I mean, the Netherlands, I naturally would think either ecstasy or MDMA, Molly. But also, man, that's a tough one.
I'm going cocaine.
Yeah, I think I'm with Miles. I think I'm going to go cocaine just because I feel like the Dutch are either high on ecstasy or cocaine. Sorry, Dutch people.
Jeff, you going to stick with heroin?
You know, we'll see who comes up first, because whoever comes up first isn't going to be right. I'm going to stick with heroin.
Okay, we're going to find out what those guys had. Xanax, Molly, heroin, or cocaine next.
That was a tease.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Primary drugs on profile. This we got two ex-Royal Marines. They were caught smuggling drugs into the UK from the Netherlands. Stashing in a box of Legos. Those all fine and dandy to somebody's kid open it up as a present.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Both were jailed for an extensive period of time. Question is, what were they trying to smuggle back from the Netherlands? Xanax, Molly, heroin, or cocaine?
And that is a question that we posed to you. Jeff, you went with heroin. Oh, I'm sorry. It was not heroin.
Nope.
And that kid was hoping desperately to be heroin in that Lego box. But no, both of you guys, Miles and Ted Smith, you went with cocaine.
Cocaine!
Correct.
All
Yeah.
right.
I watch a lot of shows on drug smuggling. The Dutch have two main
Those are the ones, huh?
exports.
Exports, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Also know that as far as cocaine goes, it always seems like it's Australia and England that has a lot of the cocaine stories as far as the drugs.
What did I just read about Australia? The percentage of adults in Australia that actively use cocaine. It was unbelievable. Like the number of adults in Australia that actively use cocaine, not have used it in the past, would be the equivalent of the number of tourists in Vegas that take I mean, seriously, it was like 45% or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box,
Armageddon.
the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today will be the Jimmys,
Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon,
Conan,
Conan O'Brien,
Seth Meyers,
okay,
or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
That's it right there in the title. All these guys have teams of talents and writers that help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom? Or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
Olympic organizers have announced that venues will be at 50% capacity, which means only 4 people will be allowed to watch fencing instead of the normal 8.
Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, Fallon.
That's Fallon.
Well, guys, the Olympics are almost here, and organizers announced that venues will be at 50% capacity. That's right, 50%, which means only 4 people will be allowed to watch fencing instead of the normal 8.
Vin Diesel recently has admitted that he gave Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson a lot of tough love when he joined the Fast and Furious franchise nearly a decade ago. Worked out well for him because now nobody knows who The Rock is.
V-Ted Smith.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
I know.
Vin Diesel.
Okay, Rock's probably like, bro,
I'll kill you.
come on.
Yesterday was Amazon Prime Day, so instead of buying stuff we don't need, we buy stuff we don't need at a slightly lower price.
Fallon. Seth Meyers.
Fallon.
Yeah, and it's not just the start of summer, you guys. It's also Amazon Prime Day. That's right. Today, instead of buying stuff we don't need, we buy stuff we don't need at a slightly lower price.
Airlines are talking about jacking up prices on overweight baggage to make up for all the weight passengers have gained during lockdown. An American Airlines spokesman said the average passenger's weight is up 8 pounds since spring of last year. Okay, well, you know what? Maybe if you don't put your plane at the end of Cinnabon Alley then.
Seth Meyers.
Yeah, Seth?
Jimmy Kimmel.
Airlines are talking about jacking up the fees for overweight baggage to make up for all the weight passengers have gained during lockdown. An American Airlines spokesperson says its average passenger weight is up 8 pounds since spring of last year. Okay, well, you know what? Maybe don't put your planes at the end of Cinnabon Alley then. How is this our fault?
Food choices at airports are odd.
Yeah, it depends on where you are. Sometimes believe it or not, I mean, SeaTac had, I don't know the new restaurants yet. Obviously, the pandemic, I haven't been up there. But, they always had that big, the food court, yard. And then they put that big barrier over it, so I never knew what the hell they were putting back there. But they always had pretty good food.
I know.
I've heard good reviews of the new food court, but again, I have no idea what's there.
I don't either.
I should get back to flying. It's awesome. All right. So God, it sucked. So there's a lot of people that you might not realize, basically the same actor voices a lot of these characters.
Sure.
Now, obviously, let's start with an easy one, right?
All right.
What was I going to say? Let's think of what's one of the biggest movies of all time?
Biggest movies. Like Lion King, something like that.
Right. Same actor voices two people, Lion King and another massive movie.
Star Wars.
Yeah,
James Earl Jones.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I see what you're saying.
Right,
And he's always someone's father. Let's not forget, he was also Conan the Barbarian's father. He started with Conan the Barbarian, right? Like I did, I'm your father. Then he moved on to Star Wars, I'm your father. Then he goes to Lion King, I'm your father. If you don't know, I'm everybody's father.
There's also Eddie Murphy's dad in Coming to America.
That's a good call. Yeah,
I'm your
that's kind of a
father.
joke, right? James Earl Jones is everybody's dad.
Yes.
Who's my dad? James Earl Jones.
Simmy?
Yeah.
All right, what else you got?
Let's see. Osmosis Jones from Osmosis Jones, Marty from Madagascar, and Moose Blood from the Bee Movie. That's all Chris Rock.
God, you know, man, having seen a bunch of kids' movies lately, he does show up a lot.
Yeah. This one, actually, I didn't know this one. Mike, you probably know this. Rick and Morty, they're both voiced by the same guy.
Yep. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did not know that. My son just started watching that. It's been interesting.
Are you watching it?
I have watched bits and pieces, and we do that thing where we look at each other, and I said, I'm going to let it slide. Yeah. Right? Like, it's... there's a few things I'm chuckling at. There are just a few scenes I'm like, okay. But he's handling it well, and he enjoys it.
Well, I like that you're starting to watch Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of... Like, that show... It's weird because it started with, like, I knew teenagers that watched it.
Sure, that's about right.
And it was massive. But then, yeah, I finally started watching it, and I was like, isn't it sci-fi or whatever? I think that show's hilarious.
Yeah, he's enjoying it quite a bit. And I understand why. Just like, we're not going to tell your mother about that scene. Let's just move on, brother.
Watch out for, what was it, season 3?
Okay,
or
he's
4.
Just starting season 2. How much worse does it get?
I want to say season 3. It gets dark for it. Like, even to the point of, like, by the end of that season, they go, that season was dark.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't know how much he'd understand of it, but he's a smart guy, so it gets dark.
I'm sure I'll get filled with a lot of questions.
And it gets a little bit more crude as it goes on.
too.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Then they kind of bring it back, but they just came back out. Let's see. Tatafa? Mutton Fudge from Wreck-It Ralph?
Oh, Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
Taffeta.
And then Disgust from Inside Out are both Mindy Kaling.
Mindy Kaling?
Mindy Kaling. Jesus, this is a tough list. Well, you see people's names. I was like, yeah, I know who Mindy.
But it seems like once they hire these people to do voices, then they get that gig for the rest of their life.
Yeah. Bart Simpson and Chucky from Rugrats. Those are both Nancy Cartwright. The singing voices of Mulan and Jasmine from Aladdin. Those are both Leah Solange.
I feel like if I'm Disney, you just get 3 singers, right? You get 3 chicks, get 3 dudes. You will do every movie for the next 15 years.
Professional VO people, too. They get used a lot of it.
Some of them are, and some of them are just actors, right?
That's the thing.
Like we had Chris Rock in there, and then you have Anna from Frozen and the narrator of Gossip Girl. That's Kristen Bell.
Huh. Oh. Well, it's we talked to, what's his name? Billy. He's the voice of
Billy West.
Billy West, voice of the Honey Nut Cheerio Bee, Ren and Stimpy, and all this stuff. And he said, look, and I want to say Toy Story had just come out. And he goes, because we were saying, is it cool to see the actors do these voice things? And he goes, no. And the reason why is this. Tom Hanks does Toy Story. Toy Story is a fine movie, right? But he goes, in the end, the kids, they don't care that it's Tom Hanks, but you paid him $10 million. I could do 15 of those voices. You're going to pay me $500,000. You know what? You save a lot, but the movie doesn't change. He's like, I do this professionally. It's like Tom Hanks is fine on his own, and he's not mad at these people. It's just the way the studios operate. But he goes, it's really frustrating for people that do voice acting. I mean, there is an art to doing it, right? Take Mel Blanc from Bugs Bunny. He did every voice there. So he's like, when movie studios, if they legitimately wanted to save money and still have quality, you hire a Mel Blanc, I know he's dead, or the Billy West, and he's like, I can do all the voices you need. I do it better. That's what I trained to do. But you pay Tim Allen, Tom Hanks, right? Oh, you spend a whole lot of money, and in the end, the kids don't care. And most adults, if you make the movie right, we don't care that it's Tom Hanks. He does a fine job, but Woody's Woody. You know what I mean?
What's also weird, too, is voice actors have, they do a bunch of different characters and they're acting.
Right.
Not saying a movie star isn't, but it seems easier. It's not like they throw off their voices a ton.
No, Tom Hanks sounds like goddamn Tom Hanks.
Yeah, he's just reading the lines different.
That's it.
Tom Hanks only sounds different when he's Forrest Gump. Everything else is Tom Hanks.
You're right. That's like the one movie.
It's the one movie where he actually changes his character.
And people forget for an actor, it's not that odd, because even when you're filming just regular movies with human beings, you could still go back in and recut lines and time it up on the editing when you edit it. It's not the actual, you know what I mean? It'll sound better. So they're kind of used to using different inflections or this or that.
I was going to say Tom Hardy for Bane. They had to go back and redo a lot of his lines because they were like, no one knows what you're saying. And what's the show we watched? The Mandalorian. Is that every episode of that show, the actor is saying his lines under his armor. So after they film the episode, then he goes back into the studio and says all of the lines again so that they can get it cooler. Right.
Yeah. I think some of the strangest is sometimes they're just shooting stuff on green screens.
That's a weird one, man.
Right, because that's legit acted. You got to react and everything, but nothing actually happened.
Nothing happens. And also, the thing that bugs me with green screen, I understand, initially, visually, it looks stunning. I get why you do it. But anytime there's something flying around or they're having a conversation with a character that's CGI'd later, everyone looks cross-eyed. No one looks exactly where the thing is.
They're not focusing on it.
Yeah. But you can always tell.
Right, because they can't.
Right.
It's like, how did everyone in Star Wars get cross-eyed? Everybody.
We're talking there about Kristen Bell doing Gossip Girl. So HBO Max is having a Gossip Girl reboot.
All right.
But now the teen characters will recognize their privilege.
No.
Right.
I've never watched the show, but if you're saying that much, and I'm guessing part of the appeal of the show is that they're spoiled, right? Or don't recognize
100%.
them. Right. Well, then nobody wants to see them recognize that.
The showrunner says the new characters are aware of income inequality.
Oh, my God.
And they, quote,
oh my God,
take Ubers, not limos.
Come on.
And they're mostly not rude to service workers.
Oh, my God.
He had a quote, I feel like the first Gossip Girl showed a little bit of wealth porn or privilege porn. Look at these cars. But also, that was kind of part of the show. You're not supposed to think they're the most awesome people in the world.
Yeah, I've never seen the show, but based on that, obviously that was the appeal of the show. I mean, it's like, we're going to go back and do Dexter, but he's going to have a different... Like, no! You like that he's the serial killer. That's the point. We redid Hannibal Lecter.
Teens.
Right.
They would never know that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I mean, they're just, as far as they're
now
concerned,
they're maturing.
Right, that's their job. I mean, look, if you've ever played on a sports team, like there's people that get away with murder that other people can't.
Yep.
Now, they'll never say they're special because oftentimes people that are special don't realize it. Right. So I'm just like, it's Gossip Girl. They're supposed to be obnoxious. It's the whole point of the show.
Not anymore.
Right, I need more than looking at it. You still got some playoff hockey and a playoff basketball game tonight if you want to check that out.
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You are listening to The Men's Room.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Florida woman gives birth to a beautiful baby girl in the Miami International Airport. Meanwhile, a company in India is paying remote workers to yell at armed robbers in the U.S. before they go to court. Man who had heart attack because of energy drinks wants to ban their sale to teens. Emergency crews in Japan summoned for drowned woman. They find someone's rubber queen. And a woman goes hiking in Michigan, meets a pissed off bison. It's time for your headline.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
All right, top story. We go to Japan, where for a heart-stopping false alarm. Local authorities were called on reports of a woman that had drowned and was floating in the water. Crews were dispatched to recover the departed, and that's when they discovered that the poor woman floating in the water was a Dutch wife, which is Japanese slang for sex toy.
Dutch wife.
The Dutch wife. Luckily, a YouTuber was in the area filming something for their channel and got a great shot of the incident.
Come up with that name.
Dutch wife.
Dutch.
But it wasn't an inflatable, right? It was like one of those love dolls?
Yeah, it was like a legit doll.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I saw the pictures. It's like, man, they got like the heavy equipment.
They don't fool around with blow-up dolls in Japan. They go all in.
No.
They really do.
This was disposal of evidence is what this was, man.
Before his wife got home.
I don't think she had a head. From the image that I saw, she didn't have a head on her shoulders.
I mean, how gruesome and traumatized would you be?
Yes.
You legitimately think you see this dead, headless woman floating in the water and they pull it out like, sex doll.
Right. In an industry where they boast about how lifelike it looks and feels, because you know that the algae is going to be already kind of clinging to her body. It looks horrible. And I mean, no good on whoever called that one in, because that probably looked as real as it was. But in other news...
I mean, they're supposed to look real.
That's right. In other news, police in South Carolina got a call about another food fight. The domestic call was made and officers arrived on the scene after the assault was reported, and after interviewing the residents of the home, it was determined that the pair had managed to get into a heated altercation concerning s'mores. The story doesn't detail what they were arguing about, but the man claimed that it had turned physical and that she had assaulted him. However, given that he had no physical evidence of that corroborated the story, no arrests were made.
S'mores. I think they were debating which one of them is pettier. I'm pettier than you.
How do you get a fight over dessert?
Right? No, you're supposed
to.
You're supposed to put the heated marshmallow on a graham cracker first, and then put the chocolate on top. No,
were they already like engaged or something?
They've been together for 2 weeks, and they're already living together.
That's what it is. I knew there was something. Correct. There was like a red flag right away in the story.
Yeah.
You guys ever make microwave s'mores?
No. Mostly oven.
Yeah, it's not a bad call. What you do, Ted, is you just crack the thing in half, you put a marshmallow on it, and then you let it blow up in the microwave.
Yeah, I kind of wish I had now that you're describing it.
Do it, man.
But no, I haven't.
Oh, that's right.
Because he doesn't have a microwave.
I had to say, you don't have a microwave, do you?
Well, we didn't do it as children either.
Oh, that's fair.
But no, I do not have a microwave.
Don't worry, Ted. We'll help you live. We go to fairy tale land known as Florida, where a woman had a rough night. Kenesha Booze was stopped and ended up arrested, and you'll never guess what for.
Drinking and driving.
That's exactly what it was. Officers felt the need to pull her over after she managed to bumper car her way down the road, running into both a tree and a Taco Bell sign.
Damn.
That's a hell of a night.
Oh,
boozy.
It is, man. A woman's hike in Yellowstone turned into a pricey flight. She was out on a hike in the national park when she had a, quote, unexpected encounter with a bison. There's no report on how the incident went down, but it did end with the woman sustaining serious enough injuries that she was airlifted to Idaho Falls for emergency care.
Yeah, apparently that thing went after. I don't know if she approached the bison or they just ran into each other on a trail and it was there and it was
they said unexpected, so I feel better.
Yeah,
as
right.
right.
It wasn't like she was going up to it, and that would be expected.
You hope that she wasn't going up.
Those are big animals.
They are.
Apparently, they're responsible for
like
most
you.
of the attacks in Yellowstone.
Yeah, but the one liked you, right?
Oh, this thing loved me. Now, granted, I was feeding it bread out of a car window, but it wouldn't leave, and then his complete head's in there. And they're like,
how does their breath smell?
It smells the way you think it does.
Like your hands.
It smells like my hands right now.
Yeah.
Did you name him Pokey?
I did not name him Pokey because the difference between this bison and Pokey was that the bison terrified
What smells
me.
worse? The hand sanitizer in this building or the smell of the bison's breath breathing on you?
I mean this, and I mean this, hand to God, the hand sanitizer. Smells worse.
Oh, no.
It is so bad.
This
thing
is that bad?
so bad.
It is so good.
It smells like an elephant peed on your hand.
Oh, God.
It's awful.
I'm going to name a cologne Bison Breath.
Bison's breath.
Get all the ladies. Bison breath. Mike Hawk's bison breath.
That is not going to sell.
No, it's not. And that is it for your headlines with that
Smells better than that hand sanitizer. All right, bitches, we're out of here. Lovely Taryn Daly is up next. We'll see you tomorrow for the return of Who Sucks Less.
Yes, indeed, it is all true. But in the meantime, we be all about this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.